How and where do you find high value men? Yeah, this is the topic that I'll be talking to you about today. So let's get right into it. Karibu sana. My name is Jacinta, and if you've never been here before, please remember to subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, karibu sana, and thank you for being a wonderful follower. And remember to share this video, as today I talk to you about where and how you can find high value men. Remember, I have said this, and if you have not watched it, go back to the previous video where we talked about dating as a single mom. I'll be talking to you more about this, more so the same way, because it's all about where and how do you even find a high value man. I know this is something that I personally struggled with, especially if you're coming from a toxic relationship. You wonder, are all men the same? You know, no, they are not the same. This is why you're eager to get into another relationship, because you do know deep in your heart that actually good men are out there, but you wonder how. I remember when I started to date, or when I decided I'm now ready to date again. And if you do not know how or when is the right time to get ready to date, you need to go back to the previous video and just listen in. So I knew I wanted to go back to the dating scene, but I was like, the usual. I have 3 kids. And those doesn't that mean that maybe I need to also get into a relationship with another man who is either divorced or coming from a relationship who has kids? Maybe that is the person that will understand me. Or maybe because I'm still younger, I can get into a relationship with an older man who does not have so much going on, will not be into the clubbing and all that, will just be a good dad to my kids. I had some of these as choices in my head, yeah, until I got to know this friend of mine in my class, and she was talking about how she met this wonderful guy. She already had 2 boys, and about her experience with the father of the boys and how he just left her and told her, even the kids, I'm giving them to you as a present. But that did not deter her, or there was a specific time when she also thought, like I did, that she needed to get married to an older guy, maybe be a trophy wife. But then she changed her mind. From working on herself, she realized that, hey, I can also get into a relationship. And I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with dating or getting married to an older man. It's a preference. But here, if you're like me and you decide, you know what, I want somebody that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with who is younger, then yeah, you're like me. And not just me, but also a bunch of other women. And this is to say that they actually exist. Yeah, you're not doomed to just marry an older man, even though there's nothing wrong with marrying an older man. I will keep repeating that. But if you feel like you want somebody younger, somebody that you can spend your life with, then I'm talking to you. So I had her, and she got into this relationship with this man who proposed to her, who asked for her hand in marriage, who was nothing but good to her boys. And it got me thinking, okay, I would want something like that. But then, are these people real? Are they real? Are these men real? Like, do they exist, or are they just fairy tales? So anyway, I came to learn that these are what we call high value men, and they actually do exist. And I believe that I'm engaged to one, because he has been nothing but good to me and to the children. And yeah, so that is why I feel like I can tell you a thing or two about how do you spot them. Where do they hang out? How do they even present themselves? You might actually are you dating one, or have you come across one? Feel free to just comment down below or DM me or my socials. So anyway, how do high value men behave? I will go back to the difference between toxic and healthy men. whereby toxic men love to hang around other men like them, either in clubs, or they like to just have men around them, validate them, tell them that it's okay to hang around women or just have a string of women around them. Healthy men will not need any validation from the other men. They actually know their worth. They know who they are, and they will come across as very confident. They will come across as very reassuring. They're not the people who will engage themselves in what battles or games here and there. They know what they want. Yeah, just put it out there. Maybe you're dating a man, or you're on a dating app talking to someone. They will not be the men that will be texting with you back and forth for days, even weeks. It has never gotten to the next phase or the next stage, which is, hey, can we meet up or grab coffee? And this is something that my now fiance had an ace on. I knew from the very beginning that I did not want to be on the app wasting time talking to people back and forth endlessly. First of all, texting or calls, those are considered to be low value communication. Somebody wants to talk to you to get to know you better, they will invite you for a cup of coffee or dinner. Yeah. So if this person has not taken the conversation from the app to actually meeting you in real life, first of all, that is either someone who really doesn't know what they want, or is not really invested in you. They're just wasting their time or just playing games with you. So that is one sign about a high value man. They know what they want, and two, they're not afraid of getting it. I spoke, and this is a story that something that I wanted to be in another part of the conversation or another episode of how I met or how I knew that he was the one. But let me just give you a snippet into it. We were talking on the app, and that will be a story for another day on this app that I will not name. If you want to know, let me know. We can talk about it in another episode. So we met, like today we were talking, and there was something else. I don't know if it's for everyone, but for me, it was huge for me. I always knew a serious person from the way they talk, the way they text. He would put full stops, he would pronunciate his texts. Not to say that everyone does it or everyone that does not do it is not serious, but that for me was something that meant a lot to me. I have always wanted people who can pronunciate their sentences. They can put commas where you're supposed to put a comma, full stop where you're supposed to put a full stop. They do not use short forms of words like where they want to say, just, you know how teenagers talk, right? Or people who are not serious with life talk. He knew, like, he would write the full name on its own, where somebody might feel like they're cutting corners, maybe using small, just, you know, the way they say, like, I'll give an example, Swahili, how they say rather than sawa, they're using sawa. I don't know whether you've ever dated or had a conversation with someone like that, but for him, it was very straightforward and he knew what he wanted. So we started talking today, and tomorrow he invited me out for dinner. So it made me know that he knows what he wants. Yeah, something else about high value men. They do not play games. They not be the people who are waiting, like, let's see, let me give them time and then maybe we can talk later. We not be the first one to talk. I will not be the first one to do this, like the chasing here and there. If you start a relationship with games, rest assured that the rest of the relationship is gonna be a game. If you always have to captivate or to capture someone's attention, like it's like a mental game. It can be so draining, so frustrating. Yeah. So just look for someone. A high value man will not be into games. They already know what they want. So if it's you and you're also the person that you want them, there's no back and forth. There's no games like the way people play mind games, like, we have gone out today, I don't want to be the first one to talk to them, I'll just wait for them to talk to me, or give it some time, let the phone ring for a while. You know, those games, they do not have any of those games. Yeah. And then there, what do we call the gentlemen? This is somebody who will pull the door for you. There's people who will stand up when you're sitting down. That for me was huge. And it also comes down to, what are you looking for? If you're okay with just having somebody who is more like your brother than your partner, somebody who doesn't appreciate or have manners, then what can we say? It's your preference. But personally, I know that high value men are people who are very gentle. They're gentlemen. They will know like the chivalry things, opening doors for you, pulling tables for you, standing up, knowing when to talk, knowing when to let you talk. They are so much into those details, yeah. And then just another thing about them is that they will not let you split the bill, or actually somehow play the dodgy games of they forgot their wallets and all that. Just a story. I know I have been in this, I have had to learn, especially as a woman who likes fine dining and fine things, where you go out with someone and then when the bill comes, they're like, what? This bill is a lot, or they start pretending they cannot find their wallets and all that. Have you ever been in such a situation? I would love to know, because I was in such a situation with someone, and let me tell you, that was the end. I also came to learn, the lesson that I learned from that is, meet people at their level, not your level. Let people show you their level. Yeah, don't pick out places. That is so masculine. Femininity is just lean back, let people be the one to make these plans. Because you take someone to a 5-star hotel, they cannot afford it. Not only are you embarrassing them, but you also end up being the one who is paying the bills. And somehow, not just is it emasculating to them, but to the takers and to the men who love to get these things done, you're actually doing the work for them. Yeah. So those are just some of the qualities of high quality men, and they're very secure. They protect us. You will feel it around them. They're very calm. Yeah. Where do we get these people? Contrary to the belief that we used to have before, whereby you can only get a good man in church. Nowadays, I do not know if that still stands. If it does, feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. But now things have really changed. Yeah, you have people, first of all, not being so much into church. And I also believe that when I go to church, I'm going there to pray. I'm not going there to look around for men. But they are there. And I remember for me, religion was also a huge part of what I was looking for, at least somebody with that relationship with God. So if you can find one in church, God was good for you. Also, but that's not the only place where you can get a high quality man. They are out there. They are out there like in golf courses. If you've never done golfing, if you remember, golf places are like the next boardrooms. Just try hanging out there, like even take yourself out for lunch, even learn golfing as a hobby, not specifically because you're there to attract a man, but because it's a good space to find some of these men. Also, you can look into like the dating app. It's a big pool full of so many people, but like I've said, you'll be able to singular them out through their characteristics. Somebody who is not playing games with you, somebody who is not just keeping you there for texts and calls, late night calls and all that. That does not mean anything. Calls and texts do not mean anything. It's not a commitment, and does not mean that this person is for you or wants to be in your life. So how fast, or you can always tell from, do they know what they're looking for? Do they say what they mean? How consistent are they? They talk, you're going out on dates. Do they even respect your time? Do they respect their own times, or are they always available to go out with you? Then you have to ask yourself, do they even have a job? Yeah, because they're always readily available. So anyway, you can find them even in the dating app. But the other thing is, which kind of apps are these? And I will even be able to discuss apps maybe in another episode, whereby if it is a hookup app, they might be there, but not so many. You do not expect to find quality men in some of these apps that are there for just hookups. Yeah. Also, you can still find them in gatherings and just put yourself out there. Your friends are going out, a friend invites you to go out. You have nothing to lose. Yeah, your person could actually be out there. And I know for a fact that even during my time, I used to, there's a friend of mine who used to tell me, the person for you is not just going to fall from heaven and find you. They're going to find you through something. Maybe it is through your friend. Maybe it is through this business meeting. Where people are going, go out. Like they say in Swahili, jitume. Like if it's in business, put yourself out there. Be ready. Like show up the best version of yourself. Yeah. Other places that you can get them, the airports. I know somebody might be thinking, I've never even been to the airport, but the airports, to the lounges where people wait for flights, there are some very wonderful people who are just there doing their business. And when somebody talks to you, just being open to having a conversation with someone. It doesn't have to lead anywhere. At the same time, you do not have to really put off people. You don't have to look at people and be like, why are they talking to me? Be graceful. Talk to people. You never know. They might not be the people, but they might actually introduce you to your person. Yeah, that can be another thing. There's really no specific place that you can say that this is the only place where you meet the person. I even remember a story that I was listening to where I had this, and I'm not saying try it. I was just listening to a story where some women were saying, they can even be found in that there are some women who look at obituaries. I'm not saying that's a place. Obituaries of where women have passed on and they see the husbands and they show up there. They have seen the story of this woman. They show up in that wedding. They pretend to be the friend of this woman and you're helping the man here to overcome the grief. Anyway, I don't think it's necessary to go into all those extremes, but this comes to show that they can be found anywhere, even in the schools of your children. I also was reading this article where they were talking about, actually it was directed to men, and they were talking about, if you want to know where you can get very rich single moms, go to those top schools. You will just see from the cars that are being parked there, the women who are coming in for their sons or for their daughters, and you can know that you can either get a person from there. So this just generally means that you can get them anywhere. You just really, the point of all this is know what you want. Know what you want. Know the difference between a healthy man and a toxic man. And from there, you can be able to spot them anywhere, and they are there. The other thing is your mental, not your mental capacity, but your belief, your limiting beliefs. What are you telling yourself? If you're telling yourself that they are hard to find, if you're telling yourself that it's impossible to find them, then you will never find them. But they are there everywhere, from hospitals to prisons. To hotels, to airports, they are there, and there are many. You just really have to know what you want and know the difference between toxic and healthy men. That's all I can say. So, until next time, I would really, really love to just hear what you think about this whole thing. Have you ever found a healthy man? Do you have a healthy man in your life? Let's celebrate them. I know so much has been said about toxic men, so much that the belief of good men and healthy men out there is just, is really low. Not many people even believe in them because the loud noises are of the toxic men, that is all we hear. But if you have a healthy man in your life, if you found a healthy man, if you have a wonderful man in your life, please feel free to share with us. Maybe just comment, reach out to me on my DMs, especially Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Tell me about this healthy man in your life. How did you find them? Which advice would you give to other single moms out there who are looking to get into relationships? Which advice would you tell them? Yeah, let's be our sisters keepers, because love is a beautiful thing, and only if you find it with the right person, the healthy person. So until next time, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe if you've not subscribed. I'll see you in the next video, which is going to be amazing and fire, and probably you might even get to meet my fiance. So until next time, bye bye.